Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel. Today we'll be looking at the Ford Capri Mark III. Welcome back, and Quarterlight, if you don't know, we look at car brochures from around the world, so if you're interested in that, please do consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's brochure. The Ford Capri Mark III, first launched in 1978, it ran until 1986. Initially under Project Carla, that strange thing Ford did at the time of all naming the projects after girls' names, for whatever reason, I don't know. But initially the Mark III really sold very well, but really it was just an update of the Mark II. But certainly I think most people, when they think about the Ford Capri, they think about the Mark III, and certainly that's probably the most popular model. Today's brochure is from 1983, so let's have a look at that now. So on the first page, this is where we finished off last time looking at the Sierra. The Capri comes next, and like I've said previously, I always thought the Capri should come before the Sierra because the Sierra is a more expensive vehicle, but never mind. Here is the Capri. It says here, a unique blend of performance, practicality and panache, and it shows the three models. Yeah, we're down to three models at this stage. The red one is an LS. This is a 2.8 injection, and of course this is the 2 litre S. By 1983, certainly things were in a little bit of a decline, and we'll talk about that as we move on. But let's have a look at the first page proper, showing these three cars from the front end view. And this was the main change, wasn't it, for the Mark III? We had these trademark quad headlamps, and this bonnet that went, the leading edge just went a little bit further to give it a more sort of menacing look, with the bonnet just sort of half covering, or just, sorry, not half covering obviously, but just slightly covering the top of the headlamps there. And of course this black grille. So at the top of the page it's saying Capri for his new Capri range blasts into view with more equipment and even reduced prices for some models to be better value than ever. So at the start there I said the Mark III was probably the most popular model. I'm kind of like thinking that from more of a today's point of view. These seem to be the models people want today. The Mark II was always very much the forgotten Capri, I think, and the Mark I is certainly a very old vehicle. But when we're saying the most popular, at the time, the Capri was certainly in a decline, and that's reflected here where it says even reduced prices. Because don't forget, this was now the hot hatch era. Ford had now introduced the XR2, and of course the Escorts, the XR3, XR3i, and the Sierra XR4i, and they were selling extremely well. The Capri was in a decline, and soon after this, November 84, production of the Capri actually ended in Europe. Yeah, it continued in the UK where it had a more sort of like a cult following, but certainly it was a car in decline by this stage. On the opposite side of the page we've got this nice picture of this black Ford Capri, a top of the range 2.8 injection, and then at the end here it's saying, if we can just about make out that, it says a new 5-speed gearbox improves Capri fine blend of performance and economy. The next page shows a little bit of an image of the three different wheels. This would have been on the LS at the time, this would have been the S, and this would have been your 2.8 injection, although this middle one you may remember also later on, I think it was 1984, probably November 84, the Capri Laser came out, and that used these wheels as well. And of course the range was reduced by this time, but they were still playing around with sort of limited editions, etc. At the side is a bit of an idea of the graphic of the S, and again we've got the three Capris next to each other, and typically a very wordy page on the facts, which we won't go into detail here because it will take far too long. So we'll turn over to the next page. We get to the first model proper, the base model at this time, the Capri LS. So yeah, your base model car, and it says at the top here, with its price reduced and a stunning new array of standard equipment, the Capri LS puts sporting style into new focus. And of course, yeah, reducing the price, and Ford's typical way of cars when they're starting to go down the rankings, become to the end of their lifespan, added a few more extras on here. This red colour always reminds me of my mum's Ford Capri, although it wasn't a 1.6 LS. That was a much earlier, I think it was an X plate, a 1.3 of all things, and we may actually have a look at that in another episode of its own, because that's really base model loveliness. But here we have a few little features. We got this sort of like a rubbing strip to, stop people opening the doors at the supermarket, so that's on there, which is a nice little touch, although we're still running steel wheels, quite a basic bumper without any sort of like overriders on there. I do believe the rear window was fixed on the LS, maybe an option, we'll have a look at that later. But you can see this is the base model, but like I said, they reduced the price of it, made it more affordable to keep the sales coming in. We'll have a look at a few of these images though. Here we have the interior. It says here the LS features a detachable rear parcel tray and a sporting style inside. So hints of a sporty car, and really this is the 1.6 LS was really, dare I say it, but a slow car. They always looked faster than they were, but they wasn't a very fast car by any stretch of the imagination. But you have these little sporting touches, and you can see when we look at the seats, a very nice seat actually, a very a sort of checkered design, an attractive interior really the Capri had. You can even see on this one this has got a sunroof on there as well, so adding to that sort of sporting style, and again making it a more desirable buy at the end of its run. And yeah, I know we still have to go till 1986, but still this is certainly declining sales. We will have a little bit of a look at some of this text as well. Okay, and it says here the new value for money Capri 1.6 LS shows precisely how a car can be high on sporting style without being high on price. Its cost has been reduced, but its equipment made even more lavish. Now a standard for its stunning low price, the Capri 1.6 LS has new front seats, exciting new road wheels, a sunroof that tilts and slides, a tailgate wash wipe system. So it's adding these features, and really this 1.6 LS is what became the 1.6 Laser that came out in 1984. I had a 1.6 Laser. Kind of like reminds me of the LS, to be honest with you. Same engine, kind of a similar sort of style, although they did, like I say, change these wheels on the Laser for what was on the 2-litre S, which nicely leads us up to the next page. So there we go, that's the LS. So if we move up the range, we get the S. Very recognisable with this graphic and the S, and of course those alloy wheels. The bumpers have got these little overrider type things on there. I think the quarter panel, this rear window is actually able to open on the S, but again we'll check the specs later on to confirm or deny that. Looks nice in this metallic blue, I think, and I think the Capri S was really the model to get. It was around about £1,000 more than the LS, but looked nicer with these alloys, and a little rear spoiler on there as well, and a nicer interior, which we'll have a look at now. So this is a glimpse at the front, and certainly them seats look nice, don't they? This is a 3-spoke steering wheel, and specially designed seats reflect the S's sporting character. It says here, also down in price and up on equipment, the Capri 2 litre S now blends fine performance with even more luxury, all as standard. It says the Capri S has always been a performance car with an extrovert character that matches its sporting pedigree. Now it's even sportier. As part of Ford's extensive revision of the Capri range, the 2 litre S now has a 5-speed gearbox as standard. This makes it cruise even more effortlessly. And then it goes on to say some a little bit of equipment, etc. So it says in the cabin you'll now find a standard equipment new XR3 style front seats with a centre armrest, a tilt slide sunroof and opening rear quarter windows. So yeah, them rear windows do indeed open on this one. And it also goes on to say cut pile carpets and a neat storage compartment. So overall I think this is probably the keenest priced or the best one to go for, and certainly there was a lot of these 2 litre S's around. So we move up the range to the kind of the car you aspired to have if you did have a Capri. The range topping 2.8 injection. The old Essex 3 litre V6 has long since dropped by now for stricter emission regulations, so this was the 2.8 injection. Kind of like the car that kind of like almost matched the looks of the cars. It almost went as fast as what you thought it would do. So, you know, the more basic Capris were always a sheep in wolf's clothing. This was kind of like a bit more of what you expect the Capri to perform. So I guess the question is, why wouldn't I say that this is the car to go for? Why wouldn't I say the 2 litre S makes more sense? Well, there was a huge jump in price to get a 2.8 injection, which we'll have a look at in a moment. But certainly it looks quite the part, doesn't it, with these wide alloy wheels and this sort of stripe with the injection badging on there. And also this two-tone paintwork and the coloured wing mirrors. It certainly was the car that you at least wanted if you didn't actually was able to afford it. But let's have a look at these lovely seats and some of this text. It says here the injection features a sports car interior and oozes with driver appeal and equipment, and you know, very nice seats indeed in this particular model. Performance is what this was all about, really. So fast and furious, the fuel injected 5-speed does 130 miles per hour and is a forceful reminder of Ford's sporting heritage. It goes on to say, press and public alike have hailed the Capri 2.8 injection as a supercar without supercar implications. Developed by Ford's Special Vehicle Engineering Team and launched at the 1981 Geneva International Motor Show, it is a forceful reminder of Ford's sporting heritage, a car designed to oozle with drivers' appeal. The heart of the range topping Capri is a 2.8 litre V6 engine equipped with Bosch K Jetronic fuel injection and a transitionalized ignition system with a cutout that automatically prevents over-revving. It develops a lusty 160 brake horsepower at 5,700 RPM and an output that propels the 2.8 injection from 0 to 60 in a mere 7.9 seconds and a top speed of a cool 130 miles per hour. So by today's standard, no, it's not a supercar, is it? But you know, for a Capri, it kind of like almost matched the looks. We then get to the Capri range standard and optional features, which we'll certainly have a look at. I'm not going to read it all out as usual, but you can certainly pick key points out as you go. As always, the black is standard features. The square, the empty square I should say, is optional features. And after this page, we'll actually look at the prices for these cars. And as always, you can always pause this screen at any time, trying to get it as clear as I possibly can for you. He's even showing things like optional extras of black and metallic paint, which was quite normal at the time. And over on the other side, unfortunately it's right in the centre, but I think we can just about make out the rest of the features. Oh, and there is the rear quarter vents, or that rear opening window. Indeed, it's an option on the LS. Okay, and there's the specifications of 1.6, 2 litre, 2.8 fuel injection. Shows the performance figures on there as well. So maximum speed of that 1.6 is only 99 miles per hour. 0 to 60, 13 seconds. 2 litre, 113 miles per hour. 0 to 60 in 9.6. And pretty much, if you looked at the Sierra of that time, it was pretty much matched an equivalent 1.6 or an equivalent 2 litre Sierra for them figures, although you probably find maximum speed on a Sierra was maybe 2 or 3 miles per hour more than a Capri, and I think that's just for aerodynamic reasons. And there is the rest of the specifications, including insurance groups. Before we actually get to the Capri price range. So there you go, the base model Capri, £4,995. That 2 litre S, another £1,000 at £5,995. Cheaper than a Sierra, although I think the cheaper Sierra, that lovely base model loveliness with the black grille Sierra, I think that was just below the base price of a Capri. So we haven't really got a super base model Capri. Wouldn't that be lovely? But we did in the past. We had the super basic 1.3s, sadly gone by now. And then if we look at the 2.8 injection, you can see it's a big jump in price. £8,125 for a solid colour, £8,228 for the metallic, and if you wanted that two-tone metallic, it was £8,306. Hence why I kind of think that sort of 2 litre S makes a bit more sense, I think. So there we go, that is the Ford Capri. Let me know of your memories of the Capri. Mine was what my 1.6 laser. Very sort of like tail happy. You didn't have to do much to spin them wheels, and particularly on snowy days, you really need a bag of cement in the back to actually get up a hill. And often I didn't get up a hill because really it was terrible in the snow. I can only think of things like the Ford Transit being worse in the snow, but yeah, it was very, very bad in the snow. And also going up multi-storey car parks with this long nose, which was always fun, and even just going out in traffic and having to stick that long nose out into traffic just to see if you can make the turn. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do like and subscribe. We'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye.